What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Long time no see. I know it's been a while. Flow Society here, back with another video. Striving Realm Jumper. I actually forget what the name of the channel is. I'll see when I edit this video and I upload it. I hope everyone's doing well. I know I've been gone for a long time. I was gone for a while, and there was some reasons for that. And I was saying, oh, I'm back, but I really wasn't in a position to be back. But some things have happened to me and I've pulled through on them. Some things with my car, some things with my health, yada, yada, yada. Don't really want to get into too much of the details. If you know me and you want to ask, go ahead. If you're just a casual viewer, then all you got to know is that I'm going to be making some more videos here and there. I'm not going to promise any consistency or a schedule. I'm not promising streaming. I'm just going to have fun, okay? Because when I was doing streaming for a year and a half, I wasn't really having that much fun. It felt like a job. I started hating it, and I don't want to hate it. So you're probably wondering, oh, well, what have you been looking at the markets when you were away? Of course I have. I would wake up most mornings. I would look at the stocks that were moving. A lot of the times I wouldn't make trades. I would just watch. But the big thing that I've been doing is I have been looking at the market from afar. So if you guys remember during my streaming days, I would talk a lot about the Japanese reverse carry trade, which recently came into the news. People were talking about it. All these talking heads were mentioning it. And for those who listen to the stream or even watch some of my videos, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in any of my videos. You know that I was mentioning it almost a year before most people were. And to be fair, I don't take full credit for it. I find the right people to listen to. I see what they have to say. I compare it to my thesis. And the person that I found and the points that they were making, it matched up to the thing that I was missing. Now, we've seen that play out. The market has been in this weird state. I mean, if you look at pennies, it's not very consistent like it used to be. We've seen these days before, and then we see these explosions. So I'm not saying anything special, right? As I always like to say, there's always money to be made in the markets. You just have to know where to look and when to look and how to look. So yeah. I still think that still has to play out. I think a lot of people are kind of sweeping that under the rug. And for those of you who don't know what the reverse carry trade is, basically it's just a way that the financial system leverages itself, and there's $20+ trillion that they're using Japan to leverage. If you want to know the specifics, you can look it up on Google or some shit. As well as the fact that not only do I not think that the reverse carry trade is not done, I think it'll still have massive impacts on global systems. I also believe that there are now other nations and other little pockets of margin. Well, little, so to speak, is all relative, but there are pockets of margin that I believe are set to burst as well. I talked a lot about commercial real estate, regular real estate, and the banks. A lot of the times, I think that those were sort of the small little dominoes. I'm still young. I don't have the full intuitiveness to be able to fully feel and grasp exactly what is happening and where it's happening and when it's happening. But I do have the generalities, and in a lot of cases, generalities can help you pinpoint specifics. And I also kind of got tired of the whole doom and gloom narrative. It was taking a lot out of my mental. It was impacting my capability of trading and looking at the market objectively. But now that some of the things I've been talking about has finally happened, and I don't feel like some crazy armchair nut job, I feel like I've been vindicated. It's taken a lot of pressure off of my chest and my shoulders, and I feel like I can view the market a lot more objectively. I can focus on the actual action of trading and analyzing the things I do incorrectly and the things I do correctly. So it helps with my mental a lot more. It's also allowed me to slow down a little bit, appreciate the market. I know that might sound weird, but it is the truth. Another thing I wanted to really get into is silver. So I did acquire certain things that I won't mention because I actually lost it. So, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Um, I do think that precious metals have a lot of potential. Um, they're specifically, so a lot of people talk about paper silver and paper gold and how it's not good, and how do you say that the system is still, that the system holds it down. It's reliant on the system, which I agree with. I have nothing against it, you know. And how do you say, barring the whole doom and gloom, like we're going to be sent back to the Stone Age, I still think there's more time to that than I had initially put myself on, and I'm just trying to enjoy the time until all that stuff does come. Because, you know, when you're good at predicting the future, sometimes you live in that future all the time. And I kind of had to learn how not to. I had to learn how to live in the present. But as for the precious metals, my paper pick is SVM. I've mentioned this multiple times beforehand, and I will continue to do so. I think it is the best mining company set up to profit off of the volatility that I believe and still expect to somewhat happen in the coming years with this market. I think a lot of the indecisiveness will cause this volatility. You know, because I've been in my head, but I've been in my head because I see things into the future. Other people, they're only now starting to get into their head. You know, their optimistic view of the world is still, oh, everything's fine, everything's fine. You know, and I was still stuck in the middle. Like, I was still optimistic, still pessimistic, but I've now gone full pessimistic. I'm full pessimistic, so I don't give a shit anymore. But yeah, as for SVM, I do want to hammer home the point. So some of the things that I use, if you look at the current price, it's up at $4, slightly above $4, and it's been kind of bouncing back before between 320 and 410, and kind of been in this little channel. And you know, me being me, I'm long in this bad boy, going a full send on this bitch, and based off of some of the things that I know and some of the things I've been paying attention to, I believe that the stock is probably worth around $30. I would say potentially the highest it would ever go is 70. But I know how the market works. I like to be a little bit more realistic. So if I had to set it at a price point, not that I would like giving out PTs, but just based off of what I see on the chart and based off of the fundamentals and the volatility that I see, I think we could see a quick movement up into the teens. I'm not going to get specific. I don't like that. I'm just letting you know what I think. So it's still a $4 stock. I've been buying the 2s and 3s, so I am already up on it, so I am chilling. It's a long-term hold for me, so I'm not trying to persuade anyone to get into it, but I do think with the current market conditions and with the bird's eye view and all the information that I've been gathering, it's something that I'm just kind of, it allows me to kind of sit back and relax and kind of enjoy the markets again. So it's the reason I'm talking about it today. If you compare it to some of the other miners, it's actually been doing incredibly well. And I think also maybe it's just me because I actually pay attention to what the company does. But just to give you a little quick overview, they were going to buy into another company, but something got held back onto it. And they have a lot of cash on hand. They're expanding their production, so they also have a lot of raw material on hand that they haven't fully processed yet. So they're also sitting on that, which is in itself volatile. So they have assets that move. They're increasing their capability of production and output and input as well. And they're also shifting more over from silver to gold, and they're taking advantage of some of the other metals, the other precious metals that they're involved with. So I don't know, just the total outlook, they look the most solid. They look like they've been setting themselves up. And you know the markets. The markets don't like boring. They like tension, you know. It's like the markets are like a crazy girl. You know, if you're boring, they don't touch you. They don't really want anything to do with you. You might be undervalued. You might be just sitting there. You know, you're trying to prove to people that you're actually worth this when people view you as being worth that. But you know the markets, they like girls like Nvidia, you know, they want that tension, they want that round tripping, they want that Ponzi scheme. What are you talking about? They want that money in their pockets today. So it's just a little analogy, but so really this is another thing I've really realized about the market is you have to find, oh, there's a dust tornado in the distance. Cool. Sorry, I got distracted. No, man, now I'm just gonna be looking at that. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, like tension in the markets. You know, like really, the market hates boring, right? The market hates boring. That's why you see when I look at undervalued companies, right, and I show them to people. People be like, oh well, you know, this hasn't really been moving much. Where's the volume at? And I'm like, well, how do you say it? Just because it is sitting undervalued and it's not specifically at the price point you want it to be, and the chart doesn't necessarily look the way that you want it to look, right? Because a lot of people they want to hit that, they want to hit it at the right time, but I don't want to hit it at the right time anymore. I'm done with that. I'm done with timing the market. Trust me, I have learned my lesson through that. You can make a lot of money timing the market, right? And how you say, but there's different ways to time the market. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I enjoy timing the market. But SVM, it's been sitting at a low, you know, and the company has been building its fundamentals. So it needs that tension, right? I'm letting the tension come towards me when it comes to these sort of more fundamental picks. You know, in day trading, which is I'm still doing that. There's always tension with the picks that I trade, so it's a lot easier. You know, when there's always tension, there's always movement, there's always volatility, there's always volume, there's always liquidity. People are jumping in and out. People are adding to the pot. You know, to go back to the old analogy, you know, there's a little bit of toxicity, a lot of emotions, a lot of push and pull, a lot of hot and cold. That's kind of what pennies and you know, day trading is, options, stuff like that, futures. But when it comes to the fundamental plays, you gotta appreciate when the tension comes. You gotta enjoy it, you know. And I think day trading also helps with that tension. It puts you in a position to be able to deal with that tension. You know, like you how you say, you can't just have a girlfriend. I don't know. I'm trying to make the channel a little bit more entertaining, if you know what I mean. So, not just well, the fundamentals really they really stick out. I've done that shit. It doesn't work. You guys don't like that, so you guys want to hear about the spicy shit. So you want to feel something in your gut. So I'm here to give it to you. I'm telling you, there's different ways to find tension in that market. That's all it is, you know, first principles. Don't make it too complicated. The volume really stands out today at this ticker and the setup. So, you know, the reason I do that is I'm not sure if you guys know Patrick Bet David Valuetainment, but he has an older video and he talks about money. And one of the most useful tips he has in that, like, 7 things you need to know about money. I think it's more than that, but it's like a list, you know, of things you need to know about money. And one of the most helpful things he ever put in that video is you got to treat women, or you got to treat money like you treat women. You know, and there's a lot of different ways you can treat women and a lot of different ways you can treat money. So, I don't know, that's something you can think about. It probably applies to your life in some way or some form or another. It's actually been pretty useful. It kind of helps me zone out on certain perspectives on the market. So, yeah, anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I'm back. I'm just chilling. I'm enjoying the view. Look at me. I got a smile on my face. No care in the world. Yep. Without further ado, guys, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.